Hello everybody, thanks so much for joining me. My name is Michael. I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. Today we're going to be jumping back into Python Crash Course Chapter 4. Going to be going over 4-8 cubes and 4-9 cube comprehension. Alright, in 4-8 cubes says a number raised to the third power is called a cube. For example, the cube of 2 is written as 2 * 3 in Python, or the multiplication operator twice. Make a list of the first 10 cubes, that is, the cube of each integer from 1 through 10, and use a for loop to print out the value of each cube. There are a few ways we can solve this problem. 4-9 actually uses the list comprehension way, so I'm going to avoid that one for now. Rather than just manually creating a list, I will use a for loop, however, to create the list using the append. Let's go ahead and do this now. Let's create an empty list called cubes, and we'll set that to an empty list. Let's then say for value, right, in the range of 1 to 11, we are going to say the cube is equal to the value to the power of 3. We'll then say cubes.append cube. So what are we doing here? Well, we are accessing a variable called value, or val for short, which will represent a range of integers. So we're going, for each loop, we will then access the next integer in that range, starting on 1 and ending on 11 exclusive. We are then going to take every value within that integer range and raise it to the power of 3 on each loop. We are going to save it as the variable cube and then insert that variable value, cube, into the cubes list using the cubes.append method. These variables are reused on each iteration and overwritten on each pass for the new value within that range. If I go ahead and print cubes here, you can see we get a list of all the cubes from 1 to 10 inclusive. Rather than printing the list outright, let's use another for loop to print every cube. We will say for cube in cubes print cube. If we now run this, you see we get an output of each integer on its own row extracted from the list. All right, that was 4-8 cubes. All right, in 4-9, we are tasked to do the same thing, but this time we need to use a list comprehension to generate the list of initial cubes rather than using a for loop, or rather a multi-line for loop. Previously, we were calling for every value in the range, doing the operation and then appending that value into a pre-existing list. Python makes it easy to do this all in one single line, as you'll see now. So to do a list comprehension, we'll do something similar. We'll create a list called cubes where we'll have an empty list. But this time inside the list, rather, we're going to say value to the power of 3 for value in the range of 1 to 11. Now, what is going on here? We are using the exact same words here except for this append, and as you can probably infer is because we are already wrapped within this list, so there's no reason to add it into the list. The loop operations will automatically insert or basically leave the values in the list and then move on to the next value in the range. So what are we doing? Well, we are saying for value in the range of 1 to 11 excluded, we're going to perform a cube operation on that value. With list comprehensions, you write the expression before the for loop rather than before writing the expression nested within the for loop. So whatever operation you're wanting to perform to that specific value, you specify it first for every value in the range of 1 to 11. And you'll get more comfortable reading this as you get better and more familiar with list comprehensions or comprehension syntax in Python. How I would read this is we have a list of cubes where each value is raised to the third power for every value in the range of 1 to 11, just as I did before in 4-8. Now let's go ahead and use another for loop to go ahead and print out every value individually like we did before. Let's go ahead and print the list of cubes to make sure that it is currently in the correct state. I'll clear my terminal and run this, and there you go, we have the same output. Now let's go ahead and use that for loop from before. For cube in cubes print cube, and we will get that output here. All right, you guys, thanks so much for watching. This was 4-8 cubes and 4-9 cube comprehension of Python Crash Course Chapter 4. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.